mastering the hidden technology of self-transformation and results creation. Because this technology that I'm sharing with you is indeed hidden, and in some senses it's hidden in plain sight. It's right there, it's with us all the time, but it is unleveraged. It is not in a state that we can yet call technology because we haven't woken up to its potential and woken up to how we can use it. Hey there, how's it going? This is James Tripp with a video for James Tripp Chaos Wave. In this video, we are looking at a hidden technology for self-transformation results creation that is available to each and every one of us, providing we are able to see it and are willing to develop a little bit of craft in using it. Now, the segment that you're about to watch is taken from a larger video. I was going to put it up somewhere else, but I decided to take some chunks out of it, make a series of videos here for YouTube. You will notice I reference a program in that. This is a program I'm running in October called Reality Shaper Deep Craft, which is all about developing the craft to use this technology we're going to talk about. If you're interested in that, you'll find a link, you'll find some details around here, but I don't want to get into it here. I just want to hand you over to me yesterday in the timeline as I am now, talking about what this hidden technology is and why it is hidden. So first off, what is the hidden technology? Have you ever seen somebody do something that just didn't make any sense to you? You looked at it, you thought, what the hell are they doing? Why are they doing that? Why would any sane person do that? Are they nuts? We can guarantee they don't think they're nuts. They think they're sane. What they're doing makes sense. It just seemed like the right thing to do in the moment. In fact, that person that you're judging there, that crazy person, they may look at you and go, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? And there's a reason for this. This happens a lot. You'll see this a lot, right? It happens a lot because nobody on this planet, no human being, is living in the world as it is. They are instead living in the world as they make it up to be. They live in the world as their mind makes it up to be. Literally all of us inhabit a kind of separate reality or reality tunnel. And this is what we're looking at, reality tunnels. In any given moment, you are caught up in an experience. You're seeing the things you're seeing, the way you're seeing them, and everything else and every other way you could see them is not there. It is outside of the tunnel, hence reality tunnel. We are always in a reality tunnel of one kind or another. So let's look at this, reality tunnels, because this is the thing that is going to become technology, but only when we learn how to use them. So when we come into the world, we have no way of making sense of anything, and we have no real power in the world. We need to be looked after 100%. We have no power. You may say, well, of course you need to be looked after because you're a baby and you can't walk. Let's imagine we popped into the world fully able to walk, but still with the mind of a baby in every other way. Right? We'd still have no power in the world. We would be reliant upon people looking after us. So children, they are faced with the challenge of putting a whole bunch of structures in place that organize reality in such a way as they're able to engage with it and make the differences in the world they want to make. In other words, they are on a journey from no power to having power, to being effective in engaging with the world and getting stuff to happen. So what happens is we learn, we're hungry, we have an instinct for it, we start making sense. As soon as we start picking up language and concepts, it really turbocharges and stuff kind of gets dumped into us like crazy. And in an undiscerning way, we take it on board. Now, by the time all of us get to adulthood, we've got reality tunnels in place. Reality tunnel is basically a set of understandings that works as deep programming. This deep programming shapes how you show up, shapes how you engage, shapes the choices you see, it shapes everything. You do not live in the world as it is, but as it is occurring to you. So, How your reality tunnels working out? How's your deep programming working out? Well, you can tell by looking at the habitual results you get and your ongoing personal experience. If you're getting what you want to get out of life, if you're living inside of the experiences you want to live in, great. You got lucky. You got lucky, because it's a game of luck when we're growing up as to what we end up with in terms of reality tunnels. So if you got lucky, I reach out, I shake your hand, I congratulate you, and I say this program is not for you. On the other hand, if you look at your life and you think to yourself, you know what, this isn't what I want, this isn't how I want it to be. In fact, I don't even understand why I keep doing that when I know I should be doing that. And if only I could get myself to do that, then I could get this. And why do I keep blowing that? And why, if things are not as you want them to be, there is only one place to look. It's in your deep programming. It's in your reality tunnels. This is what we are talking about. Now, why have I called this hidden technology? Well, there are two reasons I've called this hidden technology. The first reason is when it comes to reality tunnels, we don't see them because we're seeing the world through them. We don't see them because we're seeing the world through them. It's almost like, my glasses are hidden when I'm wearing them because I'm seeing the world through them. So reality tunnels are hidden from us in this way. We don't see them because we're seeing the world through them. The second reason this is hidden technology is because it's not actually technology while we're embedded in it. A reality tunnel doesn't become technology until we are able to shape it and use it with some kind of volition to get a result. This is what technology is. Technology is stuff that helps us get results. Well, our reality tunnels are getting us. They are steering us into the behaviors that get us the results that we get, but they're kind of arbitrarily put together. We have no power in putting them together. When we were kids, we didn't consciously know we were building reality tunnels, so they just fell together the way that they did. So to make this a technology, we need to be able to see what we were previously seeing the world through, see that it isn't truth, that it is perspective, that it is experience, and to be able to tinker and make adjustments. This is what we need to do to turn this into technology. So that's what we're looking at here, reality tunnels, and becoming the master of those reality tunnels rather than just being bound up by them, rather than being mastered by them. But why is this stuff so significant? It is significant because reality tunnels underpin everything. Let me give you an example. I live in Edinburgh, in the city of Edinburgh at the moment. There's quite a lot of homelessness here in the city. It's been on the rise. If you go out through the town, outside any of the Sainsbury's locals, Tesco Extras, whatever, you're going to find somebody there begging for some change. Someone homeless, someone desperate, someone needy. Now, I have worked with some homeless people. I have worked peripherally with some homeless charities. And I know one of the frustrations for a lot of the homeless charities is how often they will help to rehouse somebody, to find them accommodation, to set them up with what they need, set them up with their benefits, and that person in a reasonably short time ends up back on the streets again. They've been helped, but they end up back on the streets. I've seen people working in charities get very frustrated by this. One thing that they don't understand is the power of people's reality tunnels. So, in contrast to somebody perhaps rough sleeping in Edinburgh, let's look at the kinds of people our culture often raises its eyes to. Maybe the Elon Musks of the world, the Richard Bransons, I know Arnold Schwarzenegger, depends on the field, Steve Jobs. People who appear by our societal standards to be highly successful. I'm picking these people to create a contrast with someone who is perhaps homeless. Now, these people seem to get consistently different kinds of results. So what's that about? Well, the truth is they have different programming. They have different conceptual renderings of the world that create different reality tunnels through which they engage. And this is the key to the different sets of results that they habitually get. So let me make this really simple by sharing a model I call the be, do, have model for obvious reasons. It's got 3 elements: be, do, have. I've been informed recently that this comes from a guy called Neil Donald Walsh. I've been previously informed that it comes from ancient Vedic texts, so who knows? Neil Donald Walsh or ancient Vedic texts, I don't know. My friend Alan Witten shared this with me about 10 years ago. I found it very, very useful, and I use it in a particular way. I want to share it with you here to help make sense of the difference that reality tunnels make. So be, do, have is simple. We've got 3 points, and let's look at them backwards. Have, that's the results that you get in the world. So have are the results you get, and we tend to get habitual kinds of results. You know, people who are disastrous in relationships often happen to have one disastrous relationship after another. Patterns seem to repeat themselves, so we often in life get habitual kinds of results. But the results we get stem from what we do in the world, how we engage with the world behaviorally. Now that makes sense. I'm not saying there's no randomness in the universe, by the way, but I'm saying your habitual patterns of engagement make a difference. Let's take the example of a tennis player in the context of playing tennis. A really good tennis player will have habitual patterns of engagement and behaviors, ways of playing the game that produce pretty good results. They're a good tennis player because they win a lot of matches. It doesn't matter how good you get, you can't eradicate random elements and unknown stuff, so there's nobody who can guarantee they're going to win the Wimbledon tournament year in, year out for the rest of their days. They don't know. Maybe they win one year, maybe not. Maybe they come back. There are other factors, but the fact of the matter is if you've got good patterns of engagement, you're going to get certain types of results that correspond with that more often than not. So the doing bit is about your behavior, your patterns of engagement. This comes from your being in this model. Now, what does that mean, your being? For me, your being is how you are in yourself, but it's not your unconditioned, unformed self. It is yourself as shaped by your deep conceptualizations about how the world works, what's possible, what is so, what isn't so, how this works in this situation, all of that kind of stuff. These deep conceptual renderings embodied outside of consciousness. They literally shape how we see the world, and from them emerges our experience, and then our doing, and then our having. This is the be, do, have model. The implications of this are, if you take somebody's set of reality tunnels, if you take the homeless guy outside of Sainsbury's, if you take his set of reality tunnels, you plug it into the head of Elon Musk, pretty soon Elon Musk's going to be outside of a store begging for change. Now, you may question that. You may say, well, hang on a second. No, Elon Musk has got a ton of money. He's got support around him. It may take some time, you know, because people will go, well, there's a sudden change in Elon. Hopefully he'll get well and there's some money for a time. But in the end, it's going to be something like that. He's certainly not going to be creating companies, innovative technology, sending rockets to Mars anymore. That much you can be sure of. So this is the significance of reality tunnels. This is the significance of our deep programming. Now, as I said before, maybe you got what you needed in terms of reality tunnels. Maybe you got everything that you needed. That's fine. You don't need to master this. I've used the example of wealth, by the way. Could have been relationships, could have been health, could have been any number of things, could have been any number of aspects of life. The question is, how are the reality tunnels you're coming from working out for you? Would you, given the choice, transform them? Would you change them? I certainly have spent a large part, in fact, all of my adult life doing this, repatterning reality tunnels so I can more effectively create the life that I want. So that is the significance of reality tunnels. The next thing we want to look at is what it is we need to do to turn them into technology. What is it that we need to do to be able to use them rather than simply be had by them? Okay, so if you like this video, if you got something good from this video, please do give the video the thumbs up, like the video here. If you want more on using your mind to shape your life perspectives you will not get anywhere else, make sure you subscribe to James Tripp, Chaos Wave. Use the comment section below. Ask the questions you want to ask. That way, this conversation gets to continue.